Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahweh Shah. Glad to see y'all on this Wednesday. I gotta excuse me, I got a little headache. Finna do this class. Hope y'all had a nice little week, man. Starting off the week. It was pretty good. I had a pretty good weekend. Hope y'all had a nice little thing going on, man. Hope they didn't tear y'all up on that plantation, man. Got you out there with that bullwhip. Pow! Hitting your butt on the bottom. But, man, who knew? Who knew? All these guns we got, calling them cracker, trying everything to take something from them or get them down. But, man, who knew? All we needed to take out was these folding chairs and bust them across their head. That'll sit them down. That will sit them down, boy. All we needed. And, boy, we got a lot of them in storage, man. We ought to go on and pull them folding chairs out, take them to the streets, boy. You saw when we coming up there with that trying to, what's John 3:16? Shoot. Folding chair, 418. How about that? Yeah, they're gonna say, I bet they have a seat now. Yeah, bet they do. I bet these mothers, I bet every time they don't want to go to no picnics no more. Not if it's got a folding chair. They probably scared of him, boy. So y'all be careful though, because you know how they are. When they get scared, boy, they retaliate. So, hey, make sure y'all keep your eyes open and your ears open on head on a swivel. Make sure y'all watching what they got going on, because they don't tell them what they're gonna try to do next. Ain't no telling where they're gonna try to come or what their plan is. They probably try to get that man 40, 50 years for hitting that lady with that chair. You know how they do. No telling what kind of time they're gonna give them, boy. They're gonna mess around and start a big old ride over this dang on chair. Because they're gonna try to make they gotta show you that, hey, we can't have this happen no more. So they gotta show it, they gotta make an example out of them. Make you scared to want to hit them across the head with the chair. But it's getting there, y'all. I told them, man, these scriptures, we've been breaking it out. At Isaiah, what is that? Isaiah 13:15. Everybody gonna go to their own people, to their own house. It's getting that way. Esau don't understand, boy. Remember them children that you had when you was taking them fathers out the house? That's what you're dealing with now. It's backfiring on you. It's backfiring on you. You got to deal with it. You don't want to set it up. Now these traps that you done set, gonna backfire on you. Yep. Now these emotional, shoot, you got emotional generation, shoot. They gonna carry the emotions out on you now. These ain't your grandfathers. These ain't our grandfathers, boy. No, indeed. This ain't the one that look down when you walking down the sidewalk. This is the one that look up with a middle finger in your face. But all praises, y'all see the name of the class, blessings and curses. That's what we're going to get into, man. It's going to probably take me 3 weeks to get through this, though. But I'm going to give you something today and try to get through some of this. We might do this the next 3 weeks. So if y'all tuning in, we're going to go through these curses and some of these blessings. And we're going to start going through that and breaking it down a little bit and coming to a closure, you know, and hopefully I can do this and hopefully I'll be able to do it finish next week, next Birth Toast Tuesday. But we're going to start today, though. And the first thing we're going to go to is Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 26. And it reads, Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. And that's what we want to get back to. We want to get back to the blessings of the Most High. We want to get back to the blessings, man. I'm tired of these curses, man. I know y'all tired of these curses. It just seems like you can't catch a break. Anytime you think you're doing good, man, it's just something comes, something comes, something comes. Knock you back down. I see I am redeemed. All praises, glad you're here. Suzanne Israel, all praises. My wife is up in the building, Dawn Israel. Glad you up in the building. Yaakov, Barakiah, Damien, all praises, man. Glad to see y'all tuning in. Push the share button. Like I said, send this to some people that you don't like. Let them enjoy it. Send it to some people that wouldn't hear you. Let them enjoy it. So, hey, let's read that again. Like I said, we want to get our butt back to where we getting blessings, man, instead of these curses coming on us. It says a blessing and a curses. If you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day, it's Salaki. I'm gonna start at 27 again. A blessing if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. And a curse if you would not obey the commandments of your Lord God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. And that's what a lot of our people are doing right to this day. They're going out of Christianity. That's not a God that we've known. There was no such thing as a Trinity. There was no such thing as Easter being thrown in there. There was no such thing as that Caesar Borgia that we see. Those gods was not our gods. They were never there. They were never part of this Bible. But we go after them. We love that. We thinking anytime something going good, that hey, there's got to be the right thing to do. There's got to be. No, it ain't. But you got to understand, you're getting blessed by the devil and the world. The world love their own. So when you ain't got nothing going on and you ain't going through nothing, guess what? That's because you're probably part of the world. And you're not a part of this truth, man. But like I said, blessings if we do right, curses if we do wrong. And that's just how it is. Let's go to 147, Psalms 147. Psalm chapter 147. And we're going to start at verse 19, which you bring this out all the time. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. We're the only ones who got them. We're the only ones who got them. So these blessings and curses going to go into who? Us. Nobody else. I wish they could go to the rest of them. Because I can't even see Esau going through the same stuff we're doing. Them some going to lose $1,000. They blow their head off. They commit suicide. He said, he had not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgment, they have not known them. They don't know his judgment. We are very familiar with his judgments. We are very familiar with his judgments. Because the curse has been on us. So we know his judgments. Everybody else ain't on them. Nobody else got to go through the stuff we go through. And I heard a brother teaching the other day, and I was listening to him. He was on TikTok teaching, going through the curses and everything. Then somebody asked him about the Puerto Ricans. And that's when I had to turn it off. Because right at that time, he said, the Puerto Ricans are not Israel. And see, that's one of the curses we under, confusing the faces. And yes, the Puerto Ricans are Israel. And then I just, when I realized he was one of those, they the Negro only doctrine or whatever they got going on. And when I realized that, man, that's when I realized, man, this dude tripping, man. Our people, man, we just, I mean, and it's the ones that claim to be Israelites. It's just that, nah, I don't believe this. I don't believe that. Why don't you go do the research and find out? But they don't do no researching. They won't go do no researching, because if they do researching, they'll find out they're wrong. So they do not want to be wrong. They do not want to be wrong. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. And we're going to start at 1. Let's see. 28, and we're going to start at verse 1. And it reads, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Meaning you need to search out the voice of the Lord. Meaning you need to search out these scriptures diligently. Hearken diligently. Do a diligent hearken. I mean, that means listen diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. Man, don't y'all want that? Don't you want it? Don't you want to get back where we sit up high, man? Well, we ain't got to be looking at these other nations for everything we got. We ain't got to be looking at other nations. I can't get a car because my credit score, and then their credit moving different than your credit score. You know what I'm saying? So, all praise to Danielle Dawson. Glad you're in the house. But man, it's man, I know y'all ready to get back to being blessed. And I hear a lot of Christians always run around, I'm blessed and highly favored. The lady said that all the other day, running down the street. I'm blessed and highly favored. Why are we at the bottom? Why is our people so in terrible shape? And then when you say I'm blessed and highly favored, that is one selfish thing to say. That means you don't care nothing about your people, period. If you blessed and highly favored, but your people ain't no good, I wouldn't give a damn. They got a, what, $1.5 billion lottery. If I won that right now, I'm still not blessed and highly favored if my people not blessed and highly favored. Because I can go out and buy anything, but shoot, I still got to come to these streets and look at and see how poor our people are. That should make you sad when you look around and see our people in a bad situation. Even if it ain't got nothing to do with you. We got to start looking out for each other, man. That's one thing I was glad when I went down in that Montgomery, Alabama. Shoot. Man, that's about the first time in a long time you seen black people looking out for each other. That was a good thing. I don't care what happened, man. Yes, I'm glad he bust the white woman across her goddamn head. I hope the white meat would have fell out. Then you would have noticed they are just red. When that white meat fall out, you see that white meat on the ground. Now you know, well, they are red. You open her up. That's what white looks like. There's a shift in motion indeed. I mean, we're out here deceiving our people. I am redeemed. What do you mean we out here deceiving our people? I don't get what you're saying. What are you saying? I am redeemed. You saying that we out here for yeah, Roger Todd gave her a Tom and Jerry nap. Not. Yeah, that one that just stick out. You just got to hold your head. You can move around. Yeah, gave her that kind of nap. That hold, that something you can place hold on. But yeah, man, I just want to get back to these blessings, man. It's time to get up out of these curses, man. It's time to get out of these curses. Oh yeah, I am redeemed. Yeah, no, I want to show that. Yeah, I feel you. I am redeemed. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. They hate non-Negro Israelites, meaning they don't understand the Bible. When he was going to bring them back in to where they would bring us to jealousy, and then guess what? They part of that prophecy, because we have come back to jealousy, even when they're coming back into our neighborhood. At first, I used to be like, man, these Mexicans taking over. No, we're just being oppressed together. We're just being oppressed together. So all they're doing is fulfilling prophecy. And the brothers who out there jealous, they're fulfilling prophecy. They just better get on the right side of that prophecy, though. That's one thing they must do and should be doing anytime they better be on the right side. And let me read that. Did I finish too? Yeah. And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee. He said, first of all, it was telling us, let's read 1 again. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, then that this day, this is that day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. We will be set on high above all nations on the earth. And like I said, I know y'all waiting on that blessing right there, or want to be in that blessing. He said, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. And a lot of people refuse that, because when we go on these streets, we just trying to tell them, if you just come back, we don't have to be in this situation. If we just come back, you won't be in those raggedy clothes sitting down under the homeless on the tracks. If you just come back to the Most High God, you won't have to worry about that being a drug addict. Those things can come off of you. God will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. But it takes you to make the decision about what you're going to do. If you're going to accept the calling of the Most High God, or you're going to close the door. Well, we open the door, and we're going to keep calling out until somebody answers the door. We're going to keep calling out. We're going to keep giving you the word of God. We're not going to stop till the Most High tell us, hey, it's time to put it down. It's time to put it down. Now let's go over to 15. That was a blessing. Let's go to the curse. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now all the curses going to come upon us and overtake us. All the curses going to come upon us and overtake us. If we don't. So let's go to Daniel chapter 9 and verse 10. I know a lot of people always say, what about the blessings? What about the blessings? And y'all always talk about the curses. I always talk about the curses. Well, I'm going to explain why you got to talk about the curses. And why a lot of times we can't talk about it. It's good to have hope in the blessings. But the one thing we must do first is we got to come back to God's law, statutes, commandments, and get out of the curses and into the blessings. That's why we out here teaching our people. That's why our people are starting to learn. And that's what we got to do so we can come up out of the curses and into the blessing. But it takes it, just like it took us a while going through some of these curses and things that was happening. It's taking us to wake up first and then come back to God's law, statutes, and commandments. Let's go to Daniel chapter 9 and verse 10. And it says, neither to the Lord our God belongeth. Let's start at 9. To the Lord our God belong mercies and forgiveness. Though we have rebelled against him, neither have we obeyed the voice of our Lord, the Lord our God, to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law. All of Israel have transgressed thy law. All of us have transgressed thy law. And when you read the covenant, it's a price to pay when we go against God's laws. You got to think about it. We were never taught. We was all taught the lies that was going on. Our forefather was sinning because while they were asleep, they didn't even know who they were. So they just believed in what God our enemy have given us. And before that, when we was in Africa, we got comfortable there when we went down there. We were there 1,500 years. and got comfortable with their system. Back to the Hamites, the Canaanites. We got comfortable with them again. And we didn't think nothing was going to happen to us. Just like a lot of times now, we don't think nothing was going to happen to us. We don't think that the Most High coming. And that's our people, not just Esau. Esau knows this guy, his time is short. Our people is the one that don't think that nothing happened. Or they think they're going to be able to get it right. Or they think that when they die, hey, it don't matter because the pastor going to put me in heaven anyway. He don't put everybody else. He done put Rico and them, and they done went to heaven when they died, according to the pastor at the funeral. All the wicked men and then went. So if they had a Christian funeral, guess what? They all went to heaven according to him. So they comfortable with, hey, nothing's going to happen. But when we read this Bible, we understand there's a judgment for everything that we decide to do. Verse 10, it says, neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. And it says, yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured out upon us. And the oath, and is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because he has sinned against him, is poured out upon us. We didn't just get a piece of it. We got it all. And all of it don't mean we all going through everything that's in the curses right now. But through our history, we've been through all of it. And we're still dealing with these curses forever because they'll never come off of us because he said they're going to be on us forever until the Yahweh shall return. That was what he gave us. When he died for us to come back to these law, statutes, commandments, and in hopes for to get back to the blessings of the Most High God. And that's what we're always trying to promote and get our people to do. And he had conformed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven had not been done as had been done upon Jerusalem. Nothing like this had been done to nobody. I don't care what they're crying about in the school. Nobody been through this. Worse than us. Even the so-called Hamites who went into slavery, not worse than us. A nation of people. And yes, the ones that was over here, the indigenous people that was on this land here, those people are Israelites, the northern kingdom. Yes, they went through a lot. Think about it. You on your own land, and then just like what we did, we went and took somebody else's land over. But that was given to us by the Most High God. Now here you got these other people came over here, had all this, the indigenous people here, the northern kingdom that was here in America was in their own land, and here comes somebody coming in, not only that, bring diseases, smallpox, and putting them into slavery, taking their cattle, killing their cattle, starving them out. Then totally could take over their land, and then try to wipe them off the planet, and then integrated themselves into them, trying to just so they can't even get some of the benefits for having a land over here through their constitution. Think about it. That is wicked as hell. But that's something that they done that was happening to them over here. Then some of them taken back over the year, all the way back across to the other side of the country, to the other side of the world, and then sold around over there. Just like we was taken from that side and brought over this way and sold over here. They crisscrossed us all over the place. But it was the curses, not because of, he used them, but it was because we, as a nation of people, decided not to listen to the Most High God. Because I don't understand. I see how it is, but because sin, I guess, is good. That's what they say. Like sin is good, but it feels good. It's an illusion. But we like to go and get the great feelings instead of having the greater things in life. We think the greater things in life is what these other nations create, not the greater things that the Most High God claimed to be great. We don't even want those things. We want what the world got. We want all that. But when it comes to being rulers of the world, we've gotten to become a lazy people, a spoiled. Verse 13, as it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil has come upon us, yet make we not our prayers before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. And that's one thing we got to start doing. That's why we out there teaching, to turn from our iniquities and give you the truth about the Bible, give you the truth of who you are, give you the truth of who you are, and come back to your God. We got it. We were so asleep that we got to even teach our people who their God really is. Because we didn't know. I didn't know. Then used to hear, oh, it's the same God in our religion, which I know I never believed that. That made no sense to me, because that one talking about that and that one talking about that. Can't be. But we got to bring ourselves back to who God, our God, and do what our God told us to do. And do what our God has told us to do. That's what we got to start doing, man. We got to start coming back. Verse 14, therefore have the Lord watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all his work, which he doeth, for we obey not his voice. See, that's what we don't understand. The sun does his job. What's so bad about it? Our enemy does his job. Animals do their jobs, insects do their jobs, the waters do their jobs, the clouds do their jobs, but Israel are his people that he called and said, you're special above everybody. We won't do our job. And that is the sad part. That's where you get the sorrow. That's where you get lamentations at, where you got to cry out sometimes. Because our people just don't want to get it, man. But we're going to keep trying. We're going to try until it's, until he tell us no more. Until he tell us no more. But until then, I don't care how you look at me. I don't care what you think about it. Yeah, you can say we running out there with them dang on Power Ranger suits on. But mine look better than the Power Ranger suit. Power Rangers wear tights. We had some nice garments. So you can say what you want to say about it, but we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep pushing God's laws, and we're going to keep pushing this truth. Lord willing, however long we may be on this planet. However long we may be on this planet. Let's go back to Deuteronomy, and I want to go to Deuteronomy 28 and 46. But that's why a lot of times you got to talk about the curses, is because we've broken all of God's laws. So the blessings right now, we got to understand what these curses are in order to get the blessings. And wonder, and the things why. And this is another reason why we got to go through some of these curses, because of this right here, Deuteronomy 28:46. And it reads, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. These curses going to be on us forever. And not only that, they are a sign and a seed, and upon our seed forever. Meaning this curses is going to identify who we are. Because we don't know. Our people do not know. You can't tell them they the greatest. They don't, not me. That's how low self-esteem we done got. And people be talking about esteem. We've gotten so low self-esteem that you can't tell the person, no, y'all great. No, not me. I'm just a bum. Black women fight men, trying to be greater than them. Men don't disrespecting their women, treating them terrible. We just gotten all out of line. And then we think that's okay. Red pill, blue pill. We'll sit and agree with the so-called white man if it's against the women. We'll agree with the so-called white man if it's against the man. We'll fight each other for his sake, not for our sake, for his sake, to destroy us. But we'll do that because of them curses. But we don't want to come back to God's laws. And that's what we're going to continue to teach. Whether you hear it, believe it, receive it or not, we're going to do what we're supposed to do. And like I said, everybody else do what they're supposed to do. We just got to get back to doing what we're supposed to do. And y'all shouldn't be mad. And don't let them people deter y'all because you doing what God told you to do. Don't let them. Let's read that again, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Forever. It's gonna be a sign upon us. So that's why you gotta go through the curses. Because the curses, we already know, Israel done did the damn thing. They done did it. They done went against God in every which way. They done transgressed him in every way that he said, don't do, we have done. So them curses are upon us. And they've now on us for a sign and a wonder. Because when people wonder, are those the children? How can they be the children? Those are the children of Israel because they up under the curses. And that's what the sign looks like. Look at the children of Israel. You look at them. They get the sign above them say cursed. Cursed. We cursed. And you got to look at the curses to see, are those the children of Israel? Are they? Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 16. 28 and 16. And it reads, cursed shall thy be in the city, and cursed shall thy be in the field. It says, cursed shall we be in the city, and cursed shall we be in the field. And then if we were in the blessings of this thing, we would go back to verse 3. Blessed shall 28 verse 3. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. But we know we're under the curses. This is the sign to point out who we are. Because you go around the world. Here I got a globe right here. All over this globe, in every major city, our people are there. Cursed. The lowest point. You won't see them on the TV. Well, if you're going to take a trip or a vacation, guess what? You won't see them on that vacation video. You won't see them because they curse. Just like when they promoting a trip to America, ain't none of us on them things over there. When you go overseas, there ain't nothing on them when they trying to get you to come to America. They not putting that on them. Not when they trying to sell that trip. No can do. You're not on there. You're not on there. They'll lie to you, but hey, that's what they doing. Brazil, we go down South America, same way. We curse. Jamaica got supposedly have his own, what's the name? They colonized by Great Britain. They curse. Even in their own cities. Haiti cursed even in its own cities. Curse, no matter what. Curse the world we in the city. And then it says, and curse shall thou be in the city, and curse shall thou be in the field. And then the blessing will be, blessed that shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. Well, when the field, we dang sure was cursed. We had our children out there picking cotton, grandmothers, mothers, fathers, and don't get a dime for it. Acres, man. I used to look at them fields, boy. You see them fields go for days, man. I'd have been them like, man, my back would have been so whipped up, man. Ain't no telling what they'd have named me, boy, because I sure would have been running. They had to give me more than just Toby. They'd have gave me, boy, they'd have gave me just cockroach, boy. They like, this Negro is always on the move. By the time they cut all my parts off, shit, I'd have been a torso. But boy, they'd have cut my feet off, I still would have been trying to make it, but I'd have been scooting up out that something gun. I ain't got no legs, boy. You'll see it, boy. My whole thigh. I mean, where my leg being, all that's gonna be rubbed off. And every next thing you know, they cut with one arm. I'll be coming out that mud with that one arm. God dang it, trying to get out of here, man. Cotton fields were big than the mud, man. You crazy or something, gun. Ain't that much picking in the world, boy. Until that whip probably hit, then I'll probably be out there picking up 4 acres a day. But let's go back to where were we? Deuteronomy 28:16. Cursed shall I be in the field. And then verse 17. Cursed shall I be thy basket and thy store. And then we got evidence of that all day long. The blessings on that would be what? Verse 5. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. But long as we've been we creating everything, guess what? Every invention, they take the patent, they put it out and put their name on it, and we don't even get credit for it, nor do we get the money for it. When we had our storehouses, like when you had Rosewood, when you had what is that one in Arkansas, the one in Alabama, you had them all over the place, and they went and burnt down every last one of them. Every last one of them. And not only that, then they was like, black people don't support black people because it's a cursed store. We don't support each other because we all under the curses. We don't buy from each other. When it comes to our black-owned businesses and things like that. That's what that means when it's talking about we curse. That at that point, when we're talking about that point, blessed shall I be when blessed shall thy be thy basket and thy store. We don't create our food anymore. We don't create it anymore. Now, ain't no telling what blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. That's it, the blessings. But over here it says, cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. And now we can't get fresh fruit. We can't get fresh water. We got to get everything from our enemy. And I can promise you, he studied everything. He know exactly what to put in your food to make us sick. Not everybody else, us sick. There's a reason we all get the same kind of diseases over and over and over and over. Why do you think they put pork in everything? How can the pork don't bother nobody else? Why did the pork not bother anybody else? And yes, it bothers Mexican too. I'm going to give you some little statistics here later on. Because they got the same diseases that we got. And then right now, let's go to verse 18. And that on it says, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land. And how is our fruit of our body cursed? Abortions. The hospitals, when you go in there. Why do you think more mothers die? His black and Hispanic mothers die when having children than the so-called white man and his children. He don't want your basket growing. He don't want your seed producing. He don't want that. So guess what? It's cursed. So a lot of people, it's a dangerous thing when a mother When a mother gets pregnant now, it's a dangerous thing, especially when they got to go into these hospitals. Then they want to see CPS to your house if you go have your own, have somebody deliver your baby, which is what they used to do anyway. They done made it where that's dang near illegal to do. So you curse when you having the fruit of your body and the fruit of thy land. This is the land that the indigenous, the Northern Kingdom had. They don't get no fruit. I don't know if y'all been to an Indian reservation. Shoot, you go to some of these Indian reservations, you be running out of there. You can't wait to get back to the projects. Go to Oklahoma, go into them reservations. Man, boy, they have nothing out there. They oppressed too, worse than just as bad as we are. Just as bad as we are. The increase of thy kin and the flocks of thy sheep. All the sheep and all the land that we have, like right now, the increase of our kin occurs. We don't increase. Why you think they got Planned Parenthood in every black neighborhood around the country? Why do you think that is? They plan to make sure, and then we follow suit. We follow suit. We have young girls having children at a young age, and not only do they not want to take care of them, they'll put them in the trash can, leave them at the fire station. They do all these things that, man, you don't do to a child, but we do. Because it's the curses that's on us, man. I don't see no other nations doing these things but us. And that's Hispanics too. A Latino, whatever you want to call yourself. You Issachars, Gadites, Reubenites, that's y'all. Do the same thing. But the brother be talking about, no, they ain't. Yes, they are. Puerto Rican, just like that. Go to New York. Go to Philly. Just like that. Same way. All he is speaking Spanish. However you say abortion in Spanish is the same thing. No, just because the language changed don't mean that the action don't change. They're going through the same thing. Yeah, and them curses only fit us, Susanna. You're exactly right. That's why it's important that a lot of times when everybody, what about the blessings? Oh, we can go through the blessings, but we ain't there. We ain't there, and the blessing didn't identify us. Because if they were the identifier, they would be taking us up and down that they are the people of the Bible. Because they sitting above everybody. See, we blessed. That's us. But Israel sinned in the Bible. That's why I had to go show you. All of Israel transgressed. So all of Israel should be going through these curses forever. Meaning they cannot be the real Israelites. You are. You're going through these curses. You're going through these things. Not them. Not them. And if you go to verse 4 give you the blessing. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Because remember when we walked in, what's name was 70 people or 78 people, and we wound up being more than the Egyptians. That's blessed in your fruit of your body. It's multiplied. Blah, 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 blah. Even when we make babies, some of us don't even know where they are. Not because they took them away, because we done gave them away now. Seen a lady on the news, she had 10 children, don't have any of them, and was pregnant again before the judge. And she was getting in trouble. She's on probation. I was like, my goodness. My goodness. Verse 19, Deuteronomy 28:19. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. We curse when we coming in this place. Babies come in, sometimes they come in this world already strung out on crack, already strung out on heroin. Lungs already full of smoke. Already alcoholics when they come in this world. As soon as they come in this world, already in poverty, never given a chance. Mind hadn't developed yet, and already caught on special ed. And cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. We go out with all these tragedies. Babies dying at a very young age. A lot of them. Gang warfare. And the gangsters shoot everybody but the person that they were shooting. And there's always a baby in the bed. We curse when we go out of here. We don't rarely make it to old age and die of old age. We got to have died of some disease, some high blood pressure, some heart attack. Not just that we just died of old age and gave up the ghost. No. It's always something that takes us out. And then when we leave, we don't leave no money behind. And then when we do leave, that's a curse to your family anyway, because then they start hating each other because they get to fighting over it. People come to the house, taking mama this, ain't seen mama in 30 years, but boy, soon mama died, they feel like they got to get something, a crock pot or something. They got to go steal something. I got to take something. We curse when they going out. Then what we leave? Bills. This is a counter. Look on the counter. Them children come back after 30 years, they never grab them bills. But they just like, I need that photo album. You don't need that photo album. You don't need that crock pot. You got 12 of them at your own house. You don't use them anyway. Grabbing me something. But that's what our people do. We curse when we come in. We curse when we go out. We a cursed nation. This is us. Tell me if the Jews curse when they come. No, they ain't cursing. When they come in, hey, they above poverty. Hell, their daddy got a diamond district. Hell, their daddy got on the bank. When they go out, guess what? They leaving everything behind. They having the glorious thing, that the glorious funerals you ever seen. They ain't going out with a whole lot of diseases. Them mothers be 99, stealing body parts and all kind of stuff. They stole your baby body parts and put them on them. They going to 105, 99. Shoot, like the Queen of England, that lady probably 200 years old. She done stole everybody's body part. When she died, ain't no telling how many Negroes buried with her. I bet your fingers ain't even hers. Her eyelashes ain't hers. I'm sure they come from Dante Neal. That's what they do. But so it can't be them. Can't be. Ain't so. Just not so. Cursed shall thy be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thy be when thou goest out. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thy perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. He said, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing. He shall send upon these curses. Let's go to Malachi 2:2. Malachi chapter 2, verse 2. The last book of the Old Testament. Malachi chapter 2, verse 2. If you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to heart to give glory unto my name, said the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because you do not lay it to your heart, to heart. He said, I'm going to curse your blessings. So even when you get blessed, you curse. When we get money, we curse with it. That's why we buy out here buying stupid stuff. We have the least amount of, we make the least amount of money in the world, but we're the biggest consumers in all the United States. That's the most craziest thing I ever heard. Make that make sense. Yeah, Mariah, I'm sure David Rockefeller had 6 heart transplants. We can barely get one. You ain't gonna be able to get in that line. They go straight to the front of the line. Then they just pick which one they want. Yeah, Alicia, we won't. Yep, we don't sleep until we spend every dime. I get another check next week. Well, you might not have that job next week, but we always, soon we get $1, gotta go. Borrow $2 and then go buy something that's more than what you just borrowed. Now you owe everybody, the person you owe and the person you gotta pay. That's crazy. Yeah, I tell you, our people, boy, I'm telling you, that's a cursing. That's a cursing. That's a cursing. He gonna curse our blessing. Now, as for this vexations, let's go to Isaiah 65 and 14. Isaiah 65 and 14. Isaiah. It's a big book, Isaiah. 65 verse 14. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And that vexation, when you read the name, is the state of being annoyed, frustrated, or worried. That's what vexation means. So when we in a state of being annoyed, or we're annoyed, frustrated, and worried. And boy, ain't nobody annoyed, frustrated, or worried more than we are. Nobody like that more than we are. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord God shall slay thee and call his servants by another name. And I don't know who y'all can tell me who that is. Who we ain't called by our name. So they don't even call the name that they gave us. We call by all kind of other stuff. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. And verse, let's see. Verse 9, I think. No, I'll take that back. Let's go to 14. Let's go to 14. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and the vexation of spirit. All of it. Everything that's done under the sun that we've done is a vexation of spirit. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It's worrisome. All of it. Because we hadn't gone back to the Most High God. So the Most High God looking down at his boy, it's just a vexation to him. It's just annoying him. It's frustrating. And it's got him worried about the children of Israel. It's a worrisome state of mind. That which is crooked cannot be made straight. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. The one that's crooked, it can't be made straight, and that's what people be talking about. But Esau can change. No, he can't. He was born crooked. It can't be made straight. And the people that's in wanting, they cannot be numbered. Who's in wanting? We are. And we can't be numbered. Like the sands of the sea, we can't be numbered. You can't even number us. There's so many of us wanting everything just to get out of this situation. There's some of us that want to stay in this situation and don't want to get out. He says, I commune with mine own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to a great estate, and have got more wisdom than all they have been before me in Jerusalem. And this is like when David saying, Solomon saying, hey, I got more wisdom than anybody that was in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge, and I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is a vexation of spirit. When we go into doing madness and folly, and that means not doing God's law, statutes, commandments, it's a vexation of spirit. And that's what we've done. And we need to get back to the knowledge, which is the knowledge is what? His law, statutes, and commandments. And that wisdom is what? The Deuteronomy 6:25. It says, for in much wisdom is much grief. See, the more you learn about this truth, the more you pick this Bible up, the more you start going through it, hey, you're going to be grieved because now you're going to realize those are our people. That is my nation of people. My people is in a terrible state. You just shouldn't be thinking about yourself no more. The selfishness is stopping you. And you should come out of the selfishness. And now you should be coming into who you are and going, man, our people are in a bad state. Because now you're not looking at self, you're looking at your nation. We laugh at our people when we was in the world. Man, our people be tripping. Boy, niggas be tripping. We laugh at that. Now when you come in this truth, it's a sad thing. Like, my goodness, man. It's sad we got to go through these things, man. It's sad that we have our people is down. When I'm down there downtown, that's a sad thing, man. People digging out of the trash can, picking food off the ground that somebody just walked over and pick it up and eat it. One shoe on, one with no sock. No sock on the other foot. Diseases, legs swollen, sores on them. Piss, crap on them. Mind's gone. That's sad when you look at our nation like that. Then you got the other ones that walk right past them. Don't think twice about them. While they on a train, they getting on a train. I got on Jordans. They think they better than the rest of them. Because they got on a pair of Jordans. And it's crazy, man. It's a sad thing when you see this. And then those same people that's in that poor state talk the most crazy about God. Talk the most craziest way about the Most High God. That is sad to me, man. When you get in this truth, man, you're going to find a lot more sorrow than you thought. See, because you was blinded to the sorrow, because you was thinking about you. When you get in this truth, you start thinking about your nation. Then when you're looking at your nation, you see how low we are, how ignorant we are. For in much wisdom, verse 18, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. He that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So the more knowledge about God that you get, the more sorrows you're going to feel. And if you're not feeling that, you ain't doing this truth right. You looking at it as a selfish thing. Most High looking at it as a nation thing. Yeah, you need to take yourself, because he told you to work out your own self-salvation. But your salvation comes with a nation of people, not just you. You're not going to be the only one that's saved. You're going to have to put in the work to get your people to start changing their mind, so we can get the Most High to come back down and wake up the 144,000 to where they're in their positions and doing what they got to do, so we can come up out of these curses and go into these blessings. That's what we ought to be doing. That's what we got to get our mindset to getting like this. That's one thing I love about that little thing. I must keep saying it. In that Alabama. Because it's been a long time, man. It's been a minute since you've seen black people stand up for black people. A lot of times we just sit around and videotape it. Not today, or not that day. That little old 16-year-old swam. Mug swam far. Y'all talking about black folks scared of water? That one wasn't. That one wasn't. I was like, man, they doing it. They doing it. That one was coming across that water. That little 16-year-old not only got out of there, he body slammed that one cat. Boom. They wasn't playing. That one brother was 3 floors up, zigzagged his butt all the way down, come right in now. He picked up that chair though, boy, who only knew? Like I said, we up there thinking we gotta have that gun when all we should have been noticing, it was what we were sitting on all that time. We just get off our ass and pick up that chair and bust somebody across the head. Yep, Danielle, you're exactly right. That's the Most High just showed us a little glimpse of what happens when we come together. All of that stuff it can be thrown straight up out of the window. That was a perfect picture. That's why I was glad it went so viral that all black people were like, oh, wait a minute. When we come together, man, I'm telling you. But I tell y'all, be careful, because I'm telling you right there, boy, that scared some people right there. Ku Klux Klan went right back in there, man. They changed masks. This time they changed hoods. They don't want to change hoods, boy. They like, man, hold on, wait a minute, that wasn't supposed to happen. White privilege got tore up. And you're right, Barakaya. They scared, man. I'm telling y'all. So y'all be careful. You know what happens when people get scared? They do some crazy stuff. So you watch them now. They probably they're gonna be wanting to shoot. Hey, man, keep your head on the swivel, keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open to things that are going on around you. Don't fall asleep now. Don't fall asleep now. Let's get back over here. Let's go to Psalm chapter 80 and verse 14. The book of Psalms chapter 80 and verse 14. The book of Psalms chapter 80 verse 14. Return, we beseech thee, O God of hosts. Look down from heaven and behold and visit this vine. Return, look up on us, Father, because we're trying to do what we're supposed to be doing. We're trying to get our people to come back to your law, statutes, commandments. So look down upon us, visit this vine, and the vineyard which thy right hand had planted, and the branch that thou madest strong for thyself, which is the nation of Israel. It is burned with fire, it is cut down, they perish at the rebuke of thy countenance. Let thy hand be upon the man of the right hand, and upon the son of man, whom thou madest strong for thyself. So will not we go back from thee. Hey, Yahushua, let him be our right hand man, and let him come and do what he's supposed to do, which is what he did when he died upon the cross for you, not to go sinning, but to come now back to your God, so now you can be stronger and come back out of the curses and back into the blessings. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's what the message is going out to. That's what he's telling us to do. Let's go to stay in Psalms. Let's go to 39 and verse 10. Stay in Psalms. Let's go to 39 and verse 10. And it reads, remove thy stroke away from me. I am consumed by the blow of thine hand. And that's the prayers you should be asking the Most High. Not just for you, but for your nation, to remove that stroke that he's been punishing us with. Take away that blow. Don't you want this whooping to be over with? Ain't you getting tired of getting beat? Verse 11, when thou rebukes dost correct man for iniquity, thou makest his beauty to consume away like a moth. And see, these corrections and this curses that we under, it's taking our beauty away. So they don't look at us as a beautiful nation anymore. They look at us as a disgusting, scary nation. Ugh, them people. Them people. That's how they look at us. And it's disgusting because we're under these curses. So we got to start getting ourselves out of these curses and start coming back to God's law, statutes, commandments. That's something that the world haven't seen yet. Not this present day world. They haven't seen our nation come back to our God, so our God can show up and show out. And it's about to happen, because that's why we out here. That's why we push this truth. That's why we tell you who you are according to this Bible. That's why we tell you got to stop sinning. That's why we tell you got to come out of your wicked ways and come back to your God. That's why we out there to tell you that. Because this is how we come out of the curse and into the blessing. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 16. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 16. But ye said no, for we will flee upon horses. Therefore shall ye flee, and we will ride upon the swift. Therefore shall they that pursue you be swift. And I should have went back to Deuteronomy before I went back there. But better yet, let's go back to Deuteronomy. Now I'll come back to that. And that's Deuteronomy, and we're going to start at 20. The Lord shall send upon thee curses and vexations. Finish that 20. Vexation and rebuking all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, until thy perish quickly, because of thy wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. For the Lord shall make thee pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. He said, pestilence. Let me read that again. For the Lord shall make thee pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. Now, I was going to read some of this pestilence because a lot of people don't think it's they don't think that Issachars or all that, or the Mexicans or the Puerto Ricans and all those are not Israelites. But let me read you a little of some statistics right quick. 1 in 4 Hispanics have high blood pressure. we also, and I'm going to show you, our number one cause of diseases: heart disease, stroke, cancer, asthma, influenza, pneumonia, diabetes, HIV and AIDS, colon cancers, cardiovascular diseases. That's for the black people. And then when we go into the so-called Hispanics, or whatever y'all want to call them, however y'all trying to break them down, because we know that it's Spaniards, but yes, these Spaniards don't fall up under these curses. They run all the businesses that the Mexicans have, but they speak Spanish, so the Mexicans think that those are Mexicans, they the same as them, and then our people think that those are the same people as those people, when they're not. Those are just the Spaniards who come, and just like over them, the same way here. Oh, I'm German. Doesn't matter. It's the same nation of people that's running the rest of the world. French, it don't matter. Same one. It doesn't matter. It's Esau that's running Mexico. That, like, if you learn the history of Mexico, whenever they had the real Mexican, the Aztec Indian who came and tried to fight for the people, guess who helped out? The United States government were the ones who go down to help out. Put a leader in there that's a Spaniard who does what they ask him to do, because they on the same page, and that same thing is to keep all of us down, all of us, not just in Mexico, not just in Honduras, not just in El Salvador or United States, all over the world, to make sure we don't rise up as a nation. Psalms 83 and 1. The one on down. They all come together to make sure we don't rise as a nation. But look, 1 in 4 Hispanics have high blood pressures. 1.5 times likely to have kidney failure. Diabetes, 50%. They 50% to have diabetes, type 2 diabetes. 40% of all adults in the U.S. is 40% of all adults in the U.S. get diabetes. The Hispanics is 50% likely to have type 2 diabetes. Liver disease, hepatitis B and C viruses, cancer. Don't that sound familiar? The same things we get. But we getting them, they getting them. How come them other nations not getting them? Because we under the curses. It's in the pork. Yes, it's in the pork. And that's why I be noticing, boy, when I work with them Mexicans, boy, they eat just as much pork as we do. I be trying to tell them, but nah, they like that pork just like our people like that pork. They like that swine. They like being full of parasites. That's what's killing our bodies. That's what's killing our bodies. Neurotoxins in the food that we eat. We just, boy, we iodine up, boy. I gotta have me some of them shrimps. Then even when we going on dates, our girl don't think, you don't really want to, you don't love me, why not? You ain't give me no shrimp and no lobster. Shit, I love you enough not to give you no shrimp and lobsters. That's what's killing me. But that's what they feed us. That's what we love, both of our races. Both of our races. Shrimp, lobster, catfish, pork. Now let's go to Isaiah 30 and 16. But ye said, no, for we will flee upon horses, therefore shall ye flee. And we will ride upon the swift, therefore shall they pursue you. For they that pursue you, Salakia. Therefore shall they that pursue you be swift. The people that chase us down, they swift. And can't nobody outrun us. But they know how to get up on them horses and catch us. get us back in line. Every time we get out of line, they swift to correct. So that's why I tell y'all be careful. Y'all be careful after this thing that just happened down there, because they're going to be swift to correct. They're going to get up, they mounting up on their horses now, and they finna come with something. So like I said, all of y'all always make sure that y'all is looking and keeping an eye of your surroundings, watching your children, watching the people around you. Yeah, pork is in everything. It's all over the place. If it ain't that, it's GMOs. If it ain't that, and I promise you, the GMOs that they got, they taking those genetics to do what? To come at us, our bodies, because we are the children. Yeah. Danielle Dawson, I had to stop eating pork over 4 years ago. It's been 2 years without shrimp, crab, lobster. I've been on blood pressure pills for 6 months. All praises. All praises. Because I ain't gonna lie, boy, when I used to eat that pork, I mean, not pork, I was a seafood man. I was going to Papa those, boy, get that big money bag, go in there and ask them. I used to have the white people looking at me because, man, I go and say, man, give me the biggest lobster you got in that tank. My lobster alone used to be $70. That's with no sides. Just the lobster alone. I used to sit there and tear that son of a gun up. And if I got an appetizer, I got shrimp fondue. Yeah, I was eating a lot of poison, man. Nothing but parasites. And to get into that was probably the biggest thing when it came to me. Swine was pretty hard, but that shrimp and lobster was a hard thing for me when I had to quit. I was a seafood loving son of a gun. Crab legs, crab, crawfish, all the stuff, catfish, all that. That was what I did. But all praises, I'm glad, Danielle, you're not messing with that no more. Your body should start healing up and getting better. So that's one thing we got to start doing as a nation of people, getting back to exercise and getting back to going into the wilderness, because we got to be in shape to go. And you don't want to be all in the wilderness huffing and puffing when it's time to go. That's why every time y'all having a Feast of Tabernacle, start leaving a few things behind that you left last year. Quit trying to get so comfortable in the goddamn wilderness. Next year, leave this behind. Next year, leave that behind. Next year, leave that behind. To where you out there and all you're doing is camping. Not trying to take the house out to the woods. Where am I at? It says, for thus the Lord God, I'm sorry. Verse 17, 1,000 shall flee at the rebuke of one. At the rebuke of 5 shall ye flee, till ye be left as the beacon up on the top of a mountain and as an ensign on the hill. And that's the thing about it. We as a nation of people, when we start coming together and getting behind God's laws, we can chase. We are the ones. One can put 1,000 to flight. Two can put 10,000 to flight. But when we're not doing what God say do, that's why we have no might in our hand. We have no power in our hand. Why? Because we won't do what God say do. So now that's the curse that's upon us now. How do you think a couple of white men in the field on some 3 horses can control a whole field, 300 slaves in a field? And no revolt? And everybody's obeying? Because now they chasing us when we were the one that's supposed to be chasing them. You're right, Alicia. It's a mental thing. It's mentality. Our mentality has been destroyed. We have lost all self-esteem. Shalom, Adaya. All praises. Glad you stepped up in the building. But man, we lost all self-esteem. And we need to come back to, like I said, come back to God's laws. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28, and we're going to go back to verse 21. 28 and verse 21. Cursed shall thy be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thy be when that's 19. I'm sorry, so like it. The Lord shall make thee a pest and cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, a consumption. We shall be consumed with a consumption. We are consumed. And it says, and with a fever, and with the inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and the blasting, and with the mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And if you go to verse 8, that is a blessing. The Lord shall command thee blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, in all that thou settest thine hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. That's what would have happened if we got the blessings, but we can see obviously we didn't get the blessings. We under these curses now. Do I believe in gematria, the importance of letters and numbers? Yes, what letters and what numbers? It depends on what you're talking about. Because if I'm talking about the Hebrew letters, yes, they can make up anything. They change anything in America about what their numbers and everything mean. But I do believe in, yes, numbers is number 7, number of completion, number 8, new beginnings, stuff like that. Yes, I look at those things. Even God said it's numbers. He the one created the numbers and the math. So yes, I do believe a lot of that. Leviticus, let's go to Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 16. Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 16. I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and a burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for that your enemies shall eat it. So you're gonna sow your seed in vain, and your enemies shall eat it. That means all your crops gonna be no good. You're gonna sow, but you're not gonna be able to eat it. You're not gonna be able to reap it. Even when you sow your seed, as far as having children, they got them already. As soon as they give them a birth certificate, they already got a straw man on them, already getting money for that child on their bank loan. They done use you to get their credit score up while they knocking yours down. Then mismanage the money. When they can't balance the budget, that's mismanaging the money that they got for free from using you as a straw man. $30 million sitting in an account with your name on it, but you can't touch it. Man. I also will do unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes, and shall sorrow and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it. They gonna eat it up. You ain't getting none of that. Let's go to Amos 4 and 9. Amos chapter 4, verse 9. Amos chapter 4, verse 9. I have smitten you with the blasting and mildew, When thy gardens and your vineyards and your fig trees, your olive trees increase, the palmer worm devoured them. Yet have ye not returned unto me, said the Lord. Man, when I was growing up in my neighborhood, I'm in the same neighborhood now. Throughout all of these used to be blackberry trees, peach trees, plum trees. All these same trees that's sitting up right now don't produce no fruit. No more blackberries, no more peaches, no more apples, no more plums, no more, none of that. That used to be in every one of my neighborhoods. You didn't even have to, by the time you got from one block to the other, you'd be full of fruit. Nothing's grown here. Nothing's now. I just seen a little fruit on my neighbor's yard, on this tree back there. All of it's rotten. All of it is rotten. It ain't even falling off the tree. It's rotten on the tree. It's rotten on the tree. If that ain't a curse, I don't know what it is. And yes, he's Hispanic. He's an Israelite. To you black only Israelite Negroes, I can prove what we say. You can just run your mouth. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 28. And we're going to go back to let's start at verse 23. Verse 23. And the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth under thy feet, under thee shall be iron. Meaning we won't yield any fruit. And there won't be no rains coming down to water our gardens. Why? Now they're making a new law. Now you got to register if you get a garden anyway. All praise Captain Jerubbaal got some watermelon growing in his backyard. And then what do? They try to buy out some of all the black farmers across America. They try to buy them out. Then they won't even give them the subsidies and the bonuses that they give the other counter farmers. They put penalties on black butchers. When we try to do our own cattle, that's what we need to go to anyway. Our own people. Go to the farmer's market, find out your black farmers, so-called black farmers, and your so-called black cattlemen. They got them. Y'all need to get cards from them and start going out and buying your food from them and explaining to them and showing them the Bible also, so they don't put these things and they don't let these things happen. Because y'all keep going to these grocery stores. Your chicken gonna be pork. That steak gonna be pork. That apple ain't an apple no more. I know I had apple. I forgot I had bought the apples. Had them in the bottom crisp, but forgot about them. Some gone for damn near 8 months. Picked them things right up out of the thing and cut right into it. Them some gonna still pure white. Crispy still. And I know apples don't do that. I didn't eat none of that. Didn't want not one of them. I don't give a dang how long they maintain, but I know that ain't a real apple. Didn't buy not or don't want to buy no more. I don't want to eat the grapes without no seeds. I don't want to eat these seedless watermelons. That's out of season. Yep. He said heirloom seeds are available online. I have bought some. Y'all, Ibon, you need to send me that information. Yep. Yeah, Alicia, tap water's poison. They putting all that fluoride in that. I had just seen a thing where they was in the water thing and they was putting it on there, and the dude brought the bag to the camera and it says toxic, and they was putting it as a chemical in your water, and it was fluoride. That's why tell you to call the poison control center when you swallow some of the fluoride when you swallow your toothpaste. It's a poison. Not only that, that fluoride also hardens up your pineal gland, which is your gland that Israel had. Remember, we call it pineal. All praises, Abon. Yeah, let me get that information so I can put that out also, so that everybody, you know, can start trying to find these places where we can get the real seeds, man, because they got it right now. You got to buy seeds from them. And those seeds are genetic seeds. And guess what they're going to do? They're going directly to destroy your bodies, not their bodies, but your bodies. That's why they use genetics. They can take out what they want and put in what they don't want, what they want to put in. And then a lot of times, a lot of those things are what they're using to hurt us, to hurt our people. They study our people. They run the autopsies on the bodies. But y'all thinking that they just trying to find out how you died. No, they trying to find out how you died and everything about this black body. Because they know these special bodies. And they know these are chosen God's people. So they study everything like the Bible said that they do. You got to believe it. When they say it, when the Bible says that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. Despite what Channel 4 News is talking about, or Channel 8, or whatever news you watching, despite what they're talking about, you need to be doing what God say do. He's going to tell you the truth. They're going to lie to you every time you turn around. They're going to lie to you every time you turn around. So we need to, like I said, we need to come back to these Most High. So let's go to, where were we at? 28 and 23. It says, and the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. That's why we have no fields anymore. Droughts coming on our plate now. I know if you're living in Texas, boy, you got a farm right now, you struggling. We had nothing but 100-degree heats every day. 15 days in a row. I don't even know why they keep talking about it was a break. I don't remember the 99 degrees. I don't remember the no 99 degrees. They keep talking about we had a break, talking about just 15 days in a row. No, it's been longer than that. Ever since the summer started, I ain't seen nothing but 100-degree days. 107, 106, 107, 106, 108, 110, 109, 110. What? That's crazy, man. Crazy. Verse 24, the Lord shall make thee rain of thy, we just read that one. Let's go to, and if you want that blessing that'll come on there, let's go to verse, if you read verse 12, 28 and verse 12, it says, the Lord shall open up thee his good treasure, the heaven, to give thee rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. We will be the banks. We'll do the lending. And it's in our law, we can use usury on them and charge them a high interest rate. They'll be the borrowers. Man, the shoes on our foot when we come up out of these curses and get to the blessing. Wouldn't that be good? To be passing down from generation to generation, your bank, not that house. You got a bank, a running, operating bank with loans, equity, all in that, and you pass down nothing but money like that to your children. That's a blessing. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, Alicia. We was talking about Black Wall Street when they knocked that down. That's when he was talking about, that in fact, that when we can't get, one of the curses that's on it was where our storehouses and our stores, we won't be able to, our baskets, we won't be able to have those kind of stores. We won't be able to carry those businesses on for long term because of the fact that we're under those curses. Yeah, they did put fear in us mentally. Our people fear them right now, no matter what. We always do. Verse 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemy. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And that's the same thing we read when we read Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 16 through 18. So you might want to go ahead and put that down there. Isaiah 30 verse 16 through 18. I hope y'all writing these down. Write in your Bibles, man. Write them right on alongside. So if you're talking to somebody, you put a scripture, you got another precept to go to these things. That's why we give you those precepts. Write in your Bible. Man, mark it up. If you're one that studies, mark it up. Some people talking about the Bible, oh, it's so holy. No, the words in the Bible are holy. They are spirit. But the Bible itself is just a book. You want to study this book. So go ahead and market this Bible so you'll know. If you need to mark up this one and go buy you another one. Read out of that one if that's what you got to do. But go ahead and write in your Bibles, put down these scriptures next to these other scriptures, so you have precepts that go with those scriptures. For those who don't come to classes, that's what we teach in class. So that's a lot of things that we make sure that our people are doing is writing down these scriptures and stuff and writing them in the Bible so they'll have them. If they got to talk to somebody or they're going through the scriptures with somebody, they'll be able to precept their Bible. Verse 26, and thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. And that's exactly what's happening to us now. You got people that's getting not just missing, been found in fields. Our people killing each other in the streets on a daily basis, all over America. Everybody's killing us, including ourselves. Everybody's killing us, including ourselves. Now let's go to some of the blessings on that. Verse 7. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that will rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. Instead of us being smitten, our enemies will be smitten. All praises, Kenny. Twins up in the building. But our enemies shall be smitten. That's one of the blessings. That's what we want to get back to. That's what we want to be at. That's what we want to let it be known. Instead of us fearing them, now they fear us. We ain't got to worry about that. That's verse 7. Go down to verse 10. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. They shall be afraid of us. Because the Lord has set his hand upon us. Not because the Lord cursed us, but because the Lord has all of a sudden started blessing us. That's what they're going to see. That's why we push this truth. And it's happening, whether you like it or not. If you don't believe or you do believe, oh, the hell, well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Whether you like it, believe it, receive it or not. Let's go to verse 13. And verse 13 reads, let's see. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail. Ain't you tired of being the tail? Ain't you tired of being the bottom? And thou shalt be above only, above only, above only, above only. We ain't got no other position but above only. We can't be second. We can't be third. We're above only. That's the blessing that we have when we come back to these laws. We're above only. And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe to do them. See, and that's the problem with Christianity and our people. They keep getting led astray by telling you can't do it. Why? They implemented that so we would be mentally broke down and we are destroyed, just like it said. We perish. Why? Because we lack the knowledge of the Most High God. Because we do not go back and do God's laws. Because they have told us, oh, those are done away with. You can't do them. And now how you going to tell me I can't do something when I'm doing it? That's crazy. And they're telling you can't do them, and we are not doing them because they said we couldn't. But when it comes to sports, we can do all these things. But even the Philippians, they love. I can do all things in Jesus Christ who strengthens me, but keep his laws. That makes no sense. That is crazy. That's a mental destruction right there. That's mental destruction. That's being destroyed in the mind, for real. You can't do that. How come I can't? I'm doing it. They didn't do it. Yes, they did do it. It's the majority of them who believe that in what the other nation was telling them that you can't do them. You need to stop doing them. That's done away with. And we stop and wonder why we the tail and not the head. Why are we like that? Why won't we accept the blessings? Because of some fool's gold? Some gold plated? Instead of the real deal. Instead of the real deal. Let's go back 28. Let's go to 27. 27 in Deuteronomy. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of the Egypt, and with the emeralds. And that botch is boils. And I get them all the time, man. God dang. And I asked the doctor, why I get them? He said they just sometimes in people like that. It ain't nothing they can do. I was like, wait a minute, dang. I know dang on well I'm under curse. And boy, you get the ball in the wrong place, boy, you go, ooh, man. And then I know a lot of y'all know this. A lot of y'all know this. And the Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, them boils and hemorrhoids. Some of you standing up right now because your butt burning. Put it in your drawers, gonna look like one of them monkeys in the woods. Pink booty. Whole growings about your body. Got them hemorrhoids, man. And a lot of our people suffer through them hemorrhoids. Yep. They don't, we got them. I can promise you that. It ain't them peppers. That ain't what got your butt burning. That ain't them peppers. That's them curses. That ain't them peppers. It's because I ate them peppers. I ate that hot sauce. That's them curses. You've been sinning. So now your ass burning. And the Most High know exactly where to touch us at, boy. That mud that'll make you, boy. You be sitting in that boy. I don't care. The air conditioner could be on 54. Them roars hit you on that, boy. You be sweating like a song gun, boy. You be on that toilet bowl sweating. You can't even. You don't know whether to stand up or sit down. Close your legs or open your legs, boy. You don't know whether to get on a knee, but you know you're supposed to be on the toilet. You don't know. Them hemorrhoids be tearing our people up. I know. I've been through it. Been a minute, but I know y'all done been through it. Y'all be trying to act like you don't. Yeah, they be getting that fiber, but that fiber still be coming right out there and pushing that whole goddamn rim up out of there. And this is the Most High, is what it is. The Lord will smite thee with a botch of Egypt, and with the emerald, and with the scab, and with the itch. She burnt me, or he burnt me. You got them itching. You itching. Mm-hmm. Some of it says scab, but you can put that as crabs too. And with the scab, got sores on, impetigo. And with the itch, that ain't just you got a sexual disease. Some of y'all got that itch because some of them been doing that cocaine, that heroin. You got that itch. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. We have been smit with mad. That's why our people, man, we be saying our people be bugged out. Man, even when they think they smart, they come up, you be like, God dang, if that wasn't the most stupidest thing I ever heard in my life, you be like, my goodness. My goodness. How could our people be in such a, and it's a mental state. And it ain't the mental state that they can go to the hospital or sit with a doctor and get out of. It's a mental state when they decide they're going to accept to do God's will. I believe if they start accepting that and quit trying to question that while they in that mental state, I believe they'll come out of it. Because he promised that if you come back to my law, he'll make these things become a blessing. Because it ain't enough doctors in the world, man. When you go downtown where we be at, it ain't enough doctors in the world to come out and try to give these people some psychological help. Because if he deal with all the people we deal with and we see, shoot, man, that psychologist will be he'll need a mental hospital by the time he through. Where the doc at? Oh, they strapped him up and put him down there, put him in that padded room down there. You might as well just take a seat and lay on the couch until he recovers. I'm trying to tell you, boy. These curses, boy, be upon us, man. Be up on us like a son of a gun. And you tell me, do you see these curses on these other nations? Do you? Do you? Be honest, though. I'm just trying to pick out something that happened to a white boy, you know. But as a nation of people, you don't see these curses on nobody else. It doesn't happen. They all over. It's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. Remember that song? It's written all on us. These curses written all on us. All over us. And people try to ignore this out of the Bible. Talking about don't go, you better go back to this Old Testament. You better know what you're going through. You better know why you're going through these things. That's why we push this truth. They've been lying to us. But we know how some of our people are. They don't want to be told the truth. They rather live in a delusional world, they fantasy, like when the brothers say, man, just put me back in the Matrix. Even though I know the chicken ain't chicken. Even though I know that food ain't real. Put me back there. It was easy for me to be there than to know the truth. And that's crazy. And that's crazy. That is a crazy, crazy situation. Let's go to Exodus chapter 15, verse 26. Exodus chapter 15, verse 26. And it reads, and said, if thou would diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and would do that which is right in his sight, and would give ear to the commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee. None. None. Meaning you ain't got to, you don't got to go to Dr. Shapiro. You don't got to. You don't got to take that high blood pressure medicine. You don't got to take that blood thinner medicine. You don't got to take that pump. He'll put none of these diseases on you. So you want to be disease-free? Well, you don't need insurance. The best insurance is keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. And going to teach your people so we can get these blessings as a nation. Then you won't have, you don't have to be worried about them taking out your check. Because remember, you'll be a lender and not a borrower. You'll be the head and not the tail. And then let me read that again, verse 26. And said, if thou would diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and would do that which is right in his sight, and would give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians. For I am the Lord that healeth thee. He's going to be your goddamn insurance card. He's going to be your doctor. He's going to be your oncologist. Or whatever they got, dentists and all the other stuff. It's a whole lot of payments gone. All for doing what God tell you to do. All for doing what the Most High tell you to do. And you got to start believing that, people. You got to start putting that in your head and start believing these things. Not just hearing them, but doing them. Having faith in Yahweh Shai that, hey, if I do this thing and I do what the Most High God say, and I got faith in the Son that came down, therefore I'm going to receive these blessings. There's no ifs and buts about it. Because if God won't do it, then that means God's a liar. And if God's a liar, we all need to throw this Bible away. And go on and say, hey, white man, where you want me? Want me to go clean out your toilet? What? And give in to them. But that's not so. And you know that's not true. You know the Most High God is a real thing. And you know the Most High God is ready to bless us as a nation. Only if we come back to his law, statutes, and commandments. Only if we come back. Yes, Alicia, we got to have that faith. You're right. We got to have that faith. Better yet, let me get this scripture. I didn't have this in the lesson, but I'm going to go and get it. That's at Romans 5 and 1. Romans 5 and 1. Since you brought up faith, let's go there. I know I've been in the Old Testament a lot. I stay in the Old Testament a lot because a lot of people don't know the Old Testament. They know all about some of this New Testament. They can understand it. But let's go there. Therefore, being justified by faith, so when we have that faith, we have peace with God through Yahweh Shai. We have peace. So when we got that faith to give us a peace of mind, that knowing that if I do everything that God tells me to do according to his Bible, according to the Old Testament, and I got that faith that, hey, everything he promises is going to happen. Everything he promised is going to happen. By whom also we have access by faith into the grace. Now, by the faith, we got that time to get things right. So all the stuff that you got that's bothering you, that you know you're not doing right, this is that time to get it right. This is that time to start the grace period. This is the time to start changing according to the Bible, coming back to God's laws. Quit with that old sidestepping, because some of y'all like to step in and step out. This ain't no two-step. This is a one-step. This ain't no 12-step program. It's a one-step program, keeping God's laws. By whom also, see, after we do that, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace, wherein we stand. We standing now in his grace. We standing now on that just by the faith that we have in it. Wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of glory of the Most High. And we rejoice in the hope of the glory of the Most High. We got to hope that, man, when I do this, all of this stuff, by faith, I believe that this is going to happen, and it will. Because God made a promise, and you need to live up to your side of the promise in order to receive the promise. Live up to your side of the bargain. And rejoice in hope of the glory of God. And not only so, but we glory in tribulation also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. Yes, you go through some stuff. Because some of y'all got to go through in order to get it right. See, because you just give somebody something, they never learn a lesson. So sometimes you got to go through and learn a lesson so you can maintain and keep what you got when you get it. And by the patience, that's working patience. And patience, you get experience. From while you're sitting there and it's taking a long suffering, that time that it's taking to get to that point, you're gaining experience. You're gaining experience on how to fight the enemy. You're getting experience on seeing your surroundings. You're getting experience now. You're keeping an eye on things. So now you're starting to learn about the Most High God, and you're getting experience. You're getting better with it. Now you're getting scriptures, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, and now you're coming at them strong with the word of the Most High. Not just that weak stuff with the same scriptures they're going to give you. John 3:16. God lets all of this stuff. No. You're going to be able to come at them with the real truth of the Most High God. That's the patience and the experience. And experience hope. With all of these things now, you got hope. And hope make it not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, which is given unto us. See what they try to tell you, the Holy Spirit giving unto everybody. No, us. Personal pronoun. All that from having faith. And that faith consists of doing. Work without faith is dead. Faith without work is dead. Consists of doing and action. An action. An action. Let's go to where was I at? Okay, Jeremiah chapter 4. Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 9. Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 9. And it shall come to pass that day, said the Lord, that the heart of the king shall perish, and the heart of the princes, and the priest shall be astonished, and the prophet shall wonder. Then said I, our Lord, surely thou hast greatly deceived this people in Jerusalem, saying, ye shall have peace, whereas the sword reacheth unto the soul. At that time shall it be said to this people, to Jerusalem, a dry wind of the high places in the wilderness toward the daughter of my people, not a fan, nor to cleanse. Even a full wind for those places shall come unto me, Now also will I give sentence against them before he shall come up as the cloud, and his chariot shall be as the whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. And the Most High saying, look, y'all gonna have to, I'm coming back and I'm gonna make things bad for you. Yeah, he's like, you tricked us. No, I told you straight up. It was so simple, you felt like you was tricked. Keep my laws, you get the blessing. Go against my laws, you get the curses. But you know how black folks is. We love to make an excuse. You tricked me. No, I didn't trick you. I didn't trick your fathers. I didn't trick you. Told them the same thing I told them. Told him the same thing. Daniel, let's go to Daniel chapter 9, verse 7. Daniel chapter 9. No, I don't even want that one. I'm going to go better yet. Let's go to Baruch, since we ain't picked up the Apocrypha today. Let's go up, man. That way we can say we've been in all the books today. Let's go to Baruch chapter 1, verse 15. And it reads, and ye shall say to the Lord our God belongeth righteousness, but unto us the confusions of faces, as it come to pass this day unto them of Judah into the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And then write that, like I said, write that down. Daniel 9 and 7, Jeremiah 7 and 19. Those it's saying those same things there. So you want to write those down, go to those other pages and put those in those areas. Baruch 1 and 15, Daniel 9 and 7, Jeremiah 7 and 19. And you want to put those in those places because it's saying the same thing. And we'll read that again. And it's just talking about confusions of faces because that's one of the curses that come upon us now. And that's why you got the brothers who turn around and say, hey, it's just Negro only. Well, what's a Negro in the first place? It's a nation of people, man. All of us ain't got to be looking alike. I don't look like a lot of my brothers. Got one of them I look like, one of them I don't look like, one of them that look like somebody else. But we all of a sudden got to be looking all the same. They look exactly like. So my sister high yellow. I'm blacker than 1,000 midnights. And y'all talking, we don't all look alike. Her hair good. My hair horrible. I said, shit. I had to question myself. Am I a hair mite, boy? I had so many. Look at the bottom of my chin, boy. Nappy rolled up. All right, shoot. I thought, man, hold on. Let me make sure I ain't no hair mite. But let me see where we at. All right. Everybody mark that down. I'm gonna mark it down too. Because we have stopped at Deuteronomy chapter 28. We went to chapter 28. I told you it's probably take me 3 weeks to go through this. Hopefully I can get it done next week, but hopefully I can. I should be able to. I think I will be able to. We're going to do this next Burnt Toast Tuesday. And we'll start at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 29. I hope y'all got something out of this. I hope y'all learned a little bit. I hope something got into somebody's head. I hope something got into somebody's head. I just pray the Most High that if he used me to teach, I just want somebody to learn something. Something. Even if I'm long-winded, even if I run my mouth, even if I talk loud, I know who I know. But I just hope you learn something out of this lesson. And like we said, at the end of every time we do a class, we always say, when we teach it, we always say, keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So at the end of every class, we like to give people a law, statute, or a commandment. So you be learning the law, statutes, and commandments as you be going through with all of our teachers. Captain Jerubbaal, all of them finished with a law, statutes, and commandments. If not, then we'll talk to them about them, because normally we do. I know a lot of them do. All praises, Alicia, Danielle, glad that y'all here, man. I'm glad. I hope y'all stay tuned. We do this every Burnt Toast Tuesday. So, hey, at 8 o'clock. So make sure y'all share this video, and hey, make sure you catch the classes of the other captains. They got Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We go all the way around. We just keep it going. And we just keep teaching. We're going to keep doing this truth until the Most High tell us to shut it down. But what law can I get? Because I know I done picked the law. I done went through so much stuff. And I wanted to say, I want to go to, where was that at? Leviticus 26:16. Which is something y'all had today. So if you already wrote it down, you got it. Leviticus 26 and verse. No, I don't even want that. Hold on. Let me get you another one. Okay, let's do this one. Let's do this one. Leviticus chapter 25, verse 35. No, I'm going to do this right quick. I just seen the whole, this is a good one right here. Because it's kind of go over some of the things that we do. But what I'm going to give you right now is it's a blessing. It's a law, statute, and a commandment. It's a statute that the Most High God has set up for us. But then it says, he said, ye shall keep my Sabbaths. Verse 2. We're going to go to 26. And let me start at verse 2. No, verse 3. Verse 3. Start at verse 3. Leviticus chapter 26, verse 3. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, if we do them, if we come back to God's law, statutes, commandments, and we do them, and he said, then will I give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit, and your threshing shall reach unto their vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land, neither shall the sword go through your land. Ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. Yank, yank. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight. And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. Hallelujah. Oh, praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem and Mashiach Yahushua. Hope you had a good time on this Burnt Toast Tuesday. Remember to press the like button. Remember to share this thing to everybody that you don't like and the people who won't listen to you. Go ahead and share the video so you can put this word out so we can come up out of these curses and come into these blessings. And Burnt Toast Tuesday next week, we'll start back at chapter 29 of Deuteronomy. Chapter 28 and verse 29 of Deuteronomy. And we'll begin there to go through the rest of the curses and get through the blessings and the curses and be done with this area right here. And I love you people, man. I love teaching y'all, man. I'm hoping y'all ears stay open and y'all get to take this word and go and teach your sisters, You women, go and teach your younger women, and y'all receive those things, and go and you men, go and teach the world, whoever you got to go teach, to teach them this truth. And I hope that helps y'all out, man. Hope you learn something, pass it on. In my name, Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach, Yahweh, hallelujah.